Well, about time to start making the shims. Okay, so this is what I picked up for shim stock. Hobby stores probably have it. My wife picked it up on the way home. Got it at a hardware store. Park Rose Hardware in these neck of the woods. So, even thinner. Oh, they're thicker and thicker yet. So, this is going to be this is the 05. This is the 3000s. This was the thinnest one, so that's going to be 1 thou. And that's 2. Okay, now I've already figured it out roughly on the machine that I want about 16 thou. I think probably what I'm going to do is I may try to cut out 3 and try it with 15 thou and go from there. If it's a little thick, then I can cut, a 3 and replace one of the 5s, add, that kind of thing. The part of the challenge is, though, that I want it to go full length on either side of the holes there. So I think what I'm probably going to have to do is do that and then stop shy. Once I cut that one, then I can use it on either side. So I'll just cut them all the same like that, and then I'll have to do the other ones lengthwise like this, over here on this half. So that'll give me as many as I can. On this one, now I bought 2 packages of this, so on this one I can cut the full length there without any problem. So what I need to do is, I should probably I could probably go get the paper cutter and do this a whole lot faster and easier. So you don't want the shim to extend over and hit this, okay? So the shim, when it goes in there, can't go any farther than that. Okay, I want it back just a little bit more. So I actually want it to hang, and because there's so little here, I can have some hanging out the backside there, I think. I don't have to worry too much about that. So I'm going to make it just a little bit wider. So let's see what we're looking at here. We're looking at, well, there's a 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch out of, so I'll do it on the light side of 1/2 inch. Looks like 2 1/4 ought to work just fine. Okay, so that gives me a rough idea. So basically what I'd want to do is cut this at 2 1/4, okay, and then I can just slice these down to 1/2 inch. Well, I know I want to cut them 1/2 inch by 2 1/2, okay. This is just a cheap paper cutter. Let's see how it works. Now, I know that I want to cut off at the 2 1/4 by 1/2 inch. I want to cut off at the 2 1/4 mark, because that'll leave me this, and then I can cut that down too, and like butter. Okay, and then I wanted them 1/2 inch. So now I can, it's 4 inches wide. There's a 1/2 inch. Now on a paper cutter, I'm not just simply pushing straight down. I'm giving the handle a little twist, okay, and pushing it in just a little bit, just to make sure that blade stays nice and tight against this one, because they're basically spring-loaded back here, and once this thing pulls away like that, it'll just bend the metal over. Now the last piece is 1 inch long, or inch wide rather. So this is the thickest shim, and it still cuts real easy, okay? The paper cutter just makes it real nice and easy to get straight lines and stuff. So I basically measured roughly where from the edge I want the hole. I tightened that down on the calipers. I can just push it up against the edge and just leave a little dimple there. I don't have to get too fancy with marking it or anything. So I think I'm going to use this block of Delrin here. It's a Seidel. Looks too clean to be nylon. So I did sharpen this up just a little bit. Basically, I could have put it on the lathe and that stuff, but the lathe wasn't plugged in. I just put it in the drill press. And at first I started using a file, and then I realized, wait a second, this is a hardened end. So then that stone I had earlier, I basically used that stone to clean up the end. So let's see how this works. Well, that didn't go all the way through. First one went right through. Okay, so now it is pretty displaced. Okay, we can either tap it back down with the hammer. What I'm probably going to do is go over to the vise on the mill and use that and clamp that down, and that'll also take out any of the bends in the ends and stuff. So yeah, I don't think you'd really want to try to drill this stuff. And basically I get to repeat this process with the thinner shim stock too, but I'm going to put 3 of these in and see where I'm at before I go cutting up all the other shim stock. Whoa! You can see how much that's curled up there. Let's see what this does. And I clamped it down pretty firm. You know, the metal's stretched there. So it's pretty well, it's flat. There's no real burr there or anything. We'll catch the other side too. I think that's close enough until proven otherwise. You know what I mean? Grabbing it here and feeling it, you know, there's a hard lip there bent up. And now there's really no lip you can. There is a bit of taper. You can feel it round off in there, but well, I'm kind of hoping to get those shims basically in here. And then put the piece back on, the saddle back on. Now what I'm looking at here is I'm just trying to keep the thinner side, if the hole's offset at all, I'm trying to keep the thinner side on this side. I don't care if it hangs out the back. I could trim that off, whatever. But I want to make sure it doesn't get in the way of. Might be quite the pain in the butt to do this on the machine. Okay, they're not hitting. I should be able to at least snug it up enough so that they can't move around and flop around. And then we'll see how well they fit in there. Alright, it's on there. And there's quite a bit of play, but they're only snugged down. So I want them cranked down tight. Okay, so those are pretty good and tight. Ooh, that slides pretty nice. Oh, I'm seeing the tiniest bit of movement there. Alright, I'm putting a good bit of force on there, and you can see the oil change, but there's no appreciable space. What's the thinnest feeler gauge I have is 1 thou. Okay, that doesn't go in there. Oh, and I'm pushing on that sucker pretty good. And it just starts to go in. Oh. Let's check this gauge. Yeah, 1 thou is it. That's as thin as it goes. Okay, so there isn't even 1 thou in there. Oh, probably even less than that. I kind of like that. Let's try 15 thousandths on the other side and see what it does. Well, it'll be a bit more tricky because the bolts come up through and screw into this plate. And I'm going to have to use that that narrow one there for, at least for now, for testing. So it looks like I need to cut off at least a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to cut that one. That one needs just a little bit trimmed off there. There we go. Okay. Ah, and I left the dang Allen wrench on the other one. If I hold some pressure on it there, the drill bit grabbed enough to turn it to do what I needed to do. So now I can get the Allen wrench. Well, it slid on pretty nice. The other side still has no appreciable lift, but this one does. Okay, but it's only snug. Oh, that's the wrong one. So let's see. Now this probably, by tightening it down, it may bow. Okay, it still slides. Ah. That's a lot of movement. Okay, I'll be back. We're going to take one of those out and see how tight tin is. I think I got it. I got nice smooth action. No twist. No lift or movement on either side. And I'm not even seeing any oil. Nice. I like that. What I ended up doing was I pulled out 2 of the 5,000s, so because 10 was too thick as well. So I ended up with 7,000s in there. So that's, you know, half of what's on the other side. But I like that. So now let's get some felt in here and do some oiling and see how it works. So I took out the hole punches, and that looks to be 3/8, same as the hole there. Question is, you know, when it cuts it, does it come in loose or whatever? Well, I cut out a little piece of automotive carpet, and it pops down in there nicely. So I wonder, let's see. I was afraid it might pop out. I think I'm going to start with those and see. Well, this is the back left one that I counterbored a little bit deeper. I already put one of them in. I went ahead and cut the slightly bigger to the next size up, 7/16, and it actually takes a little bit more to fit it in there. So I changed out the other couple, and I'm going to leave this one that way. There isn't enough room there to put another one in, so with the 3 of them in there, that ought to work pretty nice. Let's you know, when push come to shove, when it does come time to do these, I can always let's see how that works. You know, I can pluck them out with a X-Acto. You can see the oil it's leaving behind. Yeah, see, that soaks right down through. Don't want to put too much down at once, but that's definitely leaving oil down underneath. So, and it actually, let me move it up there so you can see it again. So it actually seems to soak down in there fairly quick. So that means that the, what do you call it, is porous enough. And I'm starting to see a film of oil left behind. Yeah, that's nice. It's starting to leave a little extra on the way here, but you know, that's fine. I'd rather have extra than not enough. Yeah, that is definitely leaving a film of oil behind it. It's still a little stiff getting up here, but I don't know that that's going to be much of a problem. That's probably because, you know, the guides underneath, you know, they never wore down the underside on the back on either side there up that close. Man, I like that. So I've been playing with it there without the gib on it, but this one sticks out a little. Yeah, there's pins in there that aren't part of the screw, you know, and so the little pointed pieces are actually I don't want to come out now, I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, the one that doesn't go back in is this one, and there's a slot here. You can also see the other marks there. See the slot there? So that slot goes over that one, and then I'll just pinch it and we'll get it started. Okay, so I didn't put any oil down. I probably should put some oil down, and that way when I tighten these things up I can adjust them and leave that on. A brush would probably make it a little nicer. Try to get some up under the... Oh, I'm slinging it all over the place. So I found a 2mm, and that's what size those are. So in adjusting the gibs, and you know, look up more information on this, because I'm certainly not any kind of expert on this or whatever. This is the little bit I've picked up, you know, in the last few years. So what you're trying to do is kind of like with this, you want no movement, okay, but you don't want it to drag real hard. Okay, so then the screw stops it. Let's see if we can get a... There's no oiling, and there is a little oddball drag on it, okay, but it's not going to come out this far. That one goes to there. I would assume that this is about all the farther it's going to go this way too, okay. So I've got just a tiny bit of movement there, and it would be nice to have it together. I can't see this thing being out that far. There's still a little bit of movement, but so loosen it up a little bit, give it just a little bit more, and it picked up more drag. Oh, see that? It can't even, doesn't even want to go to the end there. So where that drag's at there, I want to... And I'm working on like 1/16 of a turn, if that. Okay, I don't see any movement there. And I might have to do final adjustment when I get the rest of this hooked up. Because right now, you know, it slides so easy that I've got to hold it. So that seems okay. So anyway, you just bounce back and forth between the three of them until you pretty much see, I've got no movement there, but there may be movement when you start getting into the pressures that are created cutting metal. You know, but for some of the other alignments I've seen and stuff like that, adjustments, I think I have mine at least as tight, if not a little better. The sticky part here, there's probably a bunch of different stuff that could be done. But I can get to this part after it's all put back together. So I'm not going to worry so much about that. I'm going to call that good for now and start working on putting the rest of it together. I was thinking about drilling some holes, you know, for oiling and stuff, and I thought, you know, I can get this part off fairly easy later, you know, drop a couple things off the front here and just slide it right out. So I can mess with those modifications later. I need to get the other stuff back together. I've got the screw in, and I don't have it too tight. Okay, I want to be able to move it up and down if need be there. So what I'm checking when I get down to this end, and you know, you can do it with a dial indicator and stuff like that. I don't remember what the amount of run out tolerance is, but I know I do want it fairly close. That's 3 inches, 2 1/4, right on the money. So let's slide it down to here. It'd be best if I could do it to the outside, but you know, I'm over, that's at least an 18 inch, if not 2 foot distance. So it's swinging there, it's not even touching. So since this is sitting on here, I could set the digital protractor digital level. I could set it right on the rails, okay, to see if there's any twist. But I'm sitting it on here because if it does twist, this is going to change as well. So basically turn it on, hit Alt 0, it's reading 0.0. Okay, I bring it down to the end here, and it was reading 0.1 low on this side. So I had the bolt tightened up pretty tight down there. I just backed it off a little bit, and now it's up at 0.0. It's still plenty tight enough that it's not going to move. So I'm not too worried about it. So I don't care about how it's level to the floor. I only care that, you know, how each end is level. So just out of curiosity, let's see. Take the Alt 0 off, and we'll do it again. So it's 0.0. 0.0, 0.0, and that should tell me if there's any wow in the bed. Okay, you know, if it humps up or whatever, then you know the level's going to tilt this way on either end. You know, and if it's down in the middle, then it'll tilt the other way. So, okay, that's checked. I will check that again when I put this thing down on the floor, but it is down on all 4 feet. So the presumption is that I can put it over in the corner, put the feet down, level the table, and then double check this, and everything should be copacetic.